live. This is vertical, is it? Probably better like that. Probably better as the screw is tight. Is it going to be tight? Hoo-yeah! Okie doke. Alright. Hey, good afternoon everyone. Dimitri here, Pornography Addiction Recovery Coach. If it's the afternoon for you, if it's the morning, good morning. If it's the evening, good evening. And I am making this live, potentially a long live, to talk about the various steps that led me to heal, and literally just numbering the steps and tell you the journey that I've gone through for my healing. And also we had a question yesterday from Daniel, who said it would be great if I interacted with you guys in the live and answered your questions. And one of the questions he had, hey Mike, welcome, good to see you. One of the questions he had is, what are the benefits that you've received from healing your addiction? So I also want to go through that. So these are two big topics, and I want to cover them in full. So I'm not sure how long this is going to go for, but who cares? Just stick around for as long as you want to be there, and ask me all the questions you want in the meantime, please. Okay, so steps for healing. There's 4 steps that I went through. And obviously when you go through these steps, you don't realize you're going through the steps. You're just living your life, but this is what you do. So the very first step for me was to realize I had an addiction, and it was to acknowledge I had an addiction. And that comes through a statement of addiction. I am addicted to pornography, or I have a toxic relationship with pornography, or pornography is taking too much time in my life, or it's draining my energy. Something that can be like formalized into a sentence. And I just said, well, I'm addicted to pornography, and I was also a sex addict at the time. So it was both. And in a way, pornography addiction is a facet to sex addiction, but they can also kind of be separated into 2 things because they operate differently. And so I acknowledged, and it was one of the best days of my life. I said, I'm addicted to pornography, and it gave me a great sense of freedom, paradoxically, because I realized then that it wasn't that I was weird, that I was creepy, that I was different, that I was unlovable. It was just that I had this addiction in my life. In the box sexuality of my life, I had this thing called addiction to pornography, and all the rest of my life was fine and awesome, and I could track that all the problems in my life were coming from this place. And so it was a great relief. It gave me better clarity, and it gave me sort of a plan of action, or at least a statement of the status quo where I was, an understanding of where I was. Then the second step from that was, the normal step would be probably to seek help, but I did not do that because I couldn't afford a therapist or any of these. Question from Mike. Were you masturbating every day? Did you cross boundaries with friends? I was masturbating every day, yes. Did I cross boundaries with friends? So this is more about my sex addictions. Yes, or I was into this pickup thing where I was trying to get girls just for sex, and it led to really shallow and hurtful connections and bad communication. And at the time, if I had known that it's okay to claim my desire and my fantasies and just fulfill them, I would have been a lot different. But I was trying to play these games, or I was trying to just like be into seduction stuff, and I got to be good at it in the end, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking to seduce a huge number of girls. I was to look into meaningful sex, that I understood it really a lot later down the line, Mike. So step number 2 of my healing, well, I didn't look for help. I tried to find something smart that I could do with pornography. I came to realize that I'd be stuck with pornography for a long time in my life. At the time I thought it'd be my whole life. So I was like, all right, there's got to be something smart, there's got to be something intelligent I can do with pornography in my life. And so I look for artistry, I look for intellectualism, erotica, art, anything positive that I could do with pornography for a few months. And I could find nothing at all. I couldn't find anything at all. Like, surely there's got to be a positive thing I can do with pornography. I couldn't find a single thing. And I was so puzzled because I'm like, wow, pornography is taking such a huge part of my life, and a huge part of a lot of men's and women's life as well, that there's got to be a reason why this is so powerful. And yet there was nothing positive I could do, and I was speechless. I was like, wow, this is a failure right now. That has nothing I can do with it that's going to nurture my life in a meaningful way. And so when I started to realize, like, well, if it doesn't say if pornography is not its own self thing, then maybe I can do something, maybe it says something about me. So I started to analyze the content I was looking in pornography in a systematic way and trying to understand what are the power plays that are at stake, what am I craving in pornography that I keep going to these same keywords and themes and fantasies. What is this all about? And then I came to realize this powerful thing, probably the most powerful thing I've ever discovered in my life. And I intend to explore that and really give its full impact in the frame of my life, is that pornography is a replay of the wounds we carry. Pornography is a replay of the wounds we carry. We crave the pornography we crave, and we have the fantasies we have because they're a replay of the wounds we carry. And so pornography is a way to fulfill these fantasies in a way that is safe and that doesn't harm ourselves nor other people. That's why we crave it. And that was big. Understanding that pornography is a replay of our core wounds. It was big. So I kept analyzing myself, and I got to understand better and better about myself and the wounds I was carrying. So that was step number 2, and it was a really powerful breakthrough for me to understand that. Now, step number 3 of my healing to pornography addiction was that I realized I could not go cold turkey. I tried to go cold turkey for 1,000,000 times. It never worked, and I knew it would not work for me. If it worked for you, it's awesome. If it hasn't worked for you, maybe this will be helpful. I realized that I have to leave pornography progressively. I have to do it like pieces by pieces. And so I was like, how can I go and just progressively decondition my mind to pornography, my brain, into not liking pornography anymore. And I said, I want pornography to be boring. I don't want it to be stimulating anymore. And so what I did is that I removed pornography chunks by chunks, and I devised a pyramid system, and progressively it made pornography more and more boring for me, to the extent that at some point I was like, wow, when you get that feeling that pornography becomes really boring for you, you've got that thing where you look at the images and you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I watching naked people do crazy stuff? When you remove the link that you have, the attachment that you have to pornography because it has meaning for you, and you watch things that are not related to the things you like, you're watching these images of people doing this crazy stuff, and you're like, why am I watching this? Why am I wasting my time sitting at my desk watching these people do crazy stuff when I could do outside, do meaningful things, build a business, work out, whatever it is for you? And for me, that was it. I was so shocked at what I was actually doing, like wasting all this time into this meaningless action. Then that healed me. And 6 months later, after I had made that decision of quitting pornography chunks by chunks instead of going cold turkey all of a sudden, then I was free. After 70 years of addiction, I was free from pornography. I couldn't believe it. It just became boring, and all the attachment had been removed. So I had stopped pornography. I couldn't believe it. It was incredible. It was freeing. I was flabbergasted is the word I'd be using. I was flabbergasted. And yet there was a 4th step that I didn't know was coming, but it's that thanks to the work I had done on pornography, then I was able to start my businesses, and then I was able to have a bit of money for the first time after a long time, because I'd been a student for 28 years in my life, studying astronomy and astrophysics. I had finally a bit of money to invest in therapy and coaching for the first ever time in my life. I had worked this shit out on my own the whole time. That's crazy. Anyway, that's what happened. And then I came to realize that I'm carrying trauma also that were not helpful. I was carrying trauma that were dragging me back and having all these dysfunctional patterns inside me, the wounds I was carrying. And so I work on my traumas with a therapist in a method called myesthesia, and I healed my traumas. That is even bigger. Healing for pornography addiction and healing the traumas kind of go together, but having this package, I could have just become who I am now. I could just be the person that I've always wanted to be, and I didn't have these dysfunctional patterns that I didn't use. I wasn't codependent anymore. I wasn't a sex addict. I wasn't addicted to pornography. It was just me. And I could just play strategically my life in the way I had intended to. And it's taken me all these 4 steps to do that. That was crazy. So that's my journey to healing from pornography addiction. You guys, if you have any question at any stage, please feel free to ask. Just jump in. I know someone's just jumped in here. Welcome to ask any question you want if you have one. So the second step now was, what's been the benefit of, this disappeared, this just run away. What's the benefit of pornography addiction healing? How am I a better person now that I've healed from my pornography addiction? And for a long time, I thought that there was no effect. For a long time, I thought that was it. It was just this big parasitic thing that disappeared from my life. And I went from -20 to 0, but my life wasn't really awesome. And I've come to realize that it's not true. And the implications are a bit more subtle than maybe I would have expected them to be, and yet they are there. So I want to compare myself. Just as I had met Caroline, I was a sex addict, I was addicted to pornography, I had just met Caroline, my current fiancée, and compare myself now and see what's changed in the meantime. Because the only thing really that's changed is that I healed my trauma and addiction to pornography. That's in terms of personal development. It's pretty much it. So in terms of health, I was engaging in like sexual behaviors that were unhealthy. I was taking risks with multiple partners. And I have unlocked, because I have unlocked some finances as well, I've unlocked some ways to have a chiropractor. I've unlocked ways to have just my posture, worked on my health. I have thyroid issues. I've been able to invest in that, etc., etc. Before that, I had such poor self-esteem that my health is just the least of my concern, when really health is such an important concern, and working on the body and all this kind of stuff. So that's been improvements in health. Career, I was hiding from life. When I was addicted to pornography, I was hiding from life into academic career, into astrophysics and astronomy. As much as I love astronomy and astrophysics, for me, research was always a way to hide myself and not take part into the world. And then when I healed that, now I'm a coach into pornography addiction healing, and I want to make an impact, and I want to be seen, and I want to be heard, and I want that people heal. And I am going to be the agent of that healing. I am already the agent of that healing, and I want to spread that movement as big as I can, and I'm going to devote all my energy to that. It's a completely different standpoint. I was hiding in my job that I thought was a good hide, versus I'm an entrepreneur and I'm creating a movement that has meaning for me, and I'm going to smash it, and I'm going to crush it by making a difference, by healing men who are feeling grateful and change their lives, which I have done already, and I just want to grow that movement and never stop. It has to keep growing over and over and over again. Completely different mindset in Korea. Love. I was at the worst part of my sex addiction. There was this one evening, just a few days before meeting Caroline, when I went to wear a suit, and I went to Darling Harbour, which is this posh area of Sydney, and I was just trying to pick up anyone for sex. I was as close to prostitution as it was. And I just went out, and there was this girl sitting on her own at a cafe at night, and I just did that. I just gave her a sign of head to say, like, come on, let's go for a ride. This is really bad, guys. I could have gone in so much trouble for that. And eventually she laughed. Her friends called me. We talked to each other, and we had a good laugh. But that was bad. I was really low. And I had no self-esteem, no connection, no nothing. And then a few days later, I met Caroline, and now we're fiancé. We live together. We have plans to build a permaculture farm together, to have children, and we're super in love and we're super happy. So it's completely two different worlds. Spirituality and personal development, all the journey I've described so far to get here is what happened. Family, I was in constant conflict with my mother. My sister went through a terrible accident trying to end her life, in part because of my lack of care for her, because I was too busy with my own problems. And that's pretty much it. I have a very small family. Now I'm at peace with my mom. We talk a lot, we laugh a lot, we have clarified these issues, we have solved the problems, there are differences, we understand each other. And my sister, she's better than ever. She's recovered incredibly. She's super happy, and we have really good connection, and I care for her the way I should, because now I am not centered on my micro or macro problems anymore. I can care for other people too. Very hurtful for me to say that, but it's true. Money, no money for 28 years in my life, and now I've got more money than I've ever had before, and we're saving to buy land with Carolina. We're going to buy land pretty soon. So no money to money. It's incredible. To buying my dream life, this permaculture farm we're going to build with Caroline is my dream. So from no money to dream money. Fun and friends, that's maybe the thing that's been the least affected for me. When I was addicted to pornography, friends were a red flag. If I ever preferred to watch pornography rather than connect with my friends, that was a red flag. So I always respected that, and I'm pretty much in a similar situation with friends now. And back in the days, there's never really been an impact in. But fun, yeah, I can express myself, I can be natural, I can be myself without being creepy, without being weird. I don't have to hide myself, I can just shine and be who I am, and let the joy happen, and just explore the fun in this way, rather than being secretive and shady and weird. And that's it. That's it. Okay, guys. So this tool that I've used here to describe the benefits from when I was addicted to pornography to now free from pornography and living with agency and initiative and aliveness, it's called the Wheel of Life, and it's a great tool to assess the damage that pornography is contributing into your life. So if you want to assess the damage where you're at with pornography, you want to make that step one, that statement of acknowledging what's happening between you and pornography, and be able to say, I am addicted to pornography, or I have a toxic relationship with pornography, be that start of the journey to healing. Then you can use that Wheel of Life that I will post below in the comments, and you can assess the damage that is being made in your life from pornography. If you have that and you want to share it with us in this post, it would be awesomely appreciated as well. So that's it from me, guys. Call to action, wake up call. Are you addicted to pornography? Is it a yes? Is it a no? And to know that, you can rely on the damage that pornography is creating in your life. If you keep engaging in pornography knowing that it's making your life bad, then this is a definition of addiction. Engaging into actions, knowing the adverse effects that they have in our lives. So Wheel of Life, take the exercise, assess the impact, the damage, and let us know how you go with it. Let us know what's the conclusion, and it may be heartbreaking for you, maybe a bit of a shock, but it's okay to acknowledge where we're at. And I'm hoping that this journey of healing that I've described inspires you. If you want to know more, there's plenty of ways, plenty of content I've created that you can check as well, so just let me know. So here in the comment, reply Wheel of Life, and I will send you the Wheel of Life in a private message. Take care, guys, and any question, any requests for content, just let me know and I'll do it for you. Take it easy and have a good one.